You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
If you hold Korean stocks or the EWY ETF, yesterday's session directly affects what you're sitting on. The KOSPI dropped 8.29% on June 8th. Circuit breakers fired for the third time this year, 95% of listed stocks fell, and market cap evaporated by 554 trillion won, roughly $357 billion in a single session. And yet, NH Investment Securities raised 12-month price targets on Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix after the close. It's Tuesday, June 9th. Let's look at what this means for retail investors in Korea. 3 triggers hit at once. U.S. May non-farm payrolls came in at 172,000, double the forecast, reigniting Fed rate hike fears. The Philadelphia Semiconductor Index dropped 10.26% after Broadcom missed AI revenue expectations, and foreign investors extended 21 consecutive net selling sessions on the KOSPI, unloading 69.8 trillion won, roughly $44.9 billion in that run. The SpaceX IPO on June 12th, targeting $75 billion, pulled additional liquidity from existing positions. Here's what the numbers show. KOSPI closed at 7,484, down 8.29%, the worst session since March 4th. KOSDAQ fell 9.08% to 911, also triggering a circuit breaker. Samsung Electronics closed at 295,501, down 10.18%. SK Hynix at 1,911,001, down 7.68%. NH Investment Securities raised Samsung's target from 490,000 to 530,000 won, and SK Hynix from 3,100,000 to 3,200,000 won. Korea's 3-year government bond yield broke 4.0% for the first time since December 2022. The $1 rate opened at 1,555 won, a post-financial crisis high, before closing at 1,535 won after authority intervention. So what does this mean for retail investors in Korea? Earlier, we noted the KOSPI lost 8.29%. Here's what that actually means for EWY holders. The fund tracks KOSPI blue chips including Samsung and SK Hynix, absorbing similar pressure without the circuit breaker buffer available to domestic investors. Rising analyst targets alongside falling prices signals a liquidity dislocation, not a fundamental reset. But the June 11th quarterly derivatives expiration may extend volatility before stabilization. The data to watch is not tomorrow's open. It is Thursday's US CPI and the SpaceX IPO demand on June 12th, the two catalysts most likely to shift foreign capital flows. Watch 3 things. First, US May CPI on June 10th, the key near-term catalyst for market direction. Second, SpaceX IPO on June 12th, $75 billion in subscription demand competing with existing positions. Third, Korea exchange derivatives expiration on June 11th. Program-driven selling pressure expected regardless of news flow. That's today's AI Prism, retail investors. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a Won IFRA award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.